Hi and welcome to Forever Hairstyles. Today we're going to do a knotted French braid. Basically it's similar to a French braid. Instead of 3 strands we're doing 2, and we're knotting the hair instead of braiding actually. So it's a French knotted style. So I usually take a section up here, like a triangle section. I use the wider part here. And then up to the narrow, and you take the 2 sections and then you tie them like that, and you bring both sides of sections. So you want to bring all the hair, take a section of hair on this side, take another section of hair on this side. For French braiding, you have to go one side and then the other. So this is the difference of the knotted braid versus the French braid. Is you're taking 2 sides and you keep going down. And this is probably easier for people that cannot French braid hair and want something a little different than, or something to be, different with. And then tie them again. And I suggest this hair, you can try it with shorter hair, but you definitely need a lot of hair to do this. Now if you have shorter hair, you might have to do 2, 3, 4 sections. Anybody's hair longer than the shoulders, this should work pretty well. But if your hair's above the shoulders, that it might be a little bit more trickier, and you might have to figure out certain ways to do it. And this is something you can't just do overnight. So I suggest practice a few times before you actually wear it for an event, especially if you're going to do this for yourself. Now to other people it might take a few times, but for yourself you might have to do it quite a few times, depending on how long your hair is. I mean, the longer the hair, probably the better off. Of course, if your hair's down to the middle of the back, it might be a little challenging just to loop it around. And then you have leftover hair that if one side just happens to not have enough hair like I did here, what I do is I still divide it into 2 and just bring this over, the underneath hair over a little bit to look like it's coming from that side. And I know when I do this to other people, I can really get it tight down here. Sometimes when I do a French braid, it's a little loose. If you ever have done French braids, you kind of know what I'm talking about. And I tie it 3 times on the end, depending on how much length you have and how thin your hair is. Now you can put a rubber band or a hair tie on if you want, or you can use a barrette. So you can, or you can do both, whatever works. You can do both if you want, or you can tuck this under if you want to. And you can put so many things in. So you can see on the side how that goes, and then see on this side how this goes. It looks kind of like a French braid, but it's only 2 strands versus 3 of the normal French braid. But you can put little beads if you want in there, which makes it a little bit more fancier. This is great, like if you're exercising or if you're like teenagers that are in sports and they want their hair out, and yet don't have to have bobby pins on the floor, like basketball and volleyball. I know they can't have bobby pins in their hair, so this is really great to do. Or you can put little beads in the hair to make it more fancier. So, and you know, French braiding, a lot of people like the French braid, but if you're not one to can do the French braid, this might be easier for you, and something to think about, you know. Oops, bring that down. Maybe I'll just bring it on the side. Can't decide. This is something very neat, very easy to do. And it depends on how tight your braid is, it'll last for most of the day. So, but there you go, and there you have it.